Hey, good morning, Misfits. It is Wednesday, April 15th. Normally tax day, isn't it? But they extended that. April 15th, 2020, episode 420. Oh, wow. Check that out. 420 on 2020. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're safe. No, we don't say the T word. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're safe. Hope you're having an aha kind of day. It's been in a couple other worlds. There's been some pretty amazing ahas happening for me. I got asked to be the MC of an online event happening. I guess that's happening this Thursday. I guess it's happening tomorrow. Huh. I had no idea what day it was. Oh, that's too funny. So yes, I had a 3-hour interview yesterday for a buddy who was wanting to put together a training program on mastery, personal mastery. He asked me if I would participate. So that was yesterday, and it turned out 3 hours of interview and conversation and development. So we put a pretty big program together. So I'll figure out where that's going to be and share that with you all when that comes out. How's everybody doing this morning? I hope everybody's well this morning. Anybody have any ahas, awarenesses, or awakenings that popped into their world today that they became aware of yesterday? Just language. Good morning, Dana. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the program. It was actually the group that had me go on to their the unblinded huddle in the morning, and then I did an influence off with Jeff Halkivers that afternoon too. So yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with it. I'm glad they got to edit 3 hours of content. So good morning, everybody. Great to have you all here. Appreciate you being here this morning. I'm going to go back to this concept of what truth doesn't hold the weight when you start to pick it up. I think I like the way I said that. What truth do you have that when you go to pick it up and use it might not have all the weight that you had given it? Right? You ever pick up anything? You ever go pick up a cup and the cup is empty and you kind of do one of those things, or a box, you think it's empty, and right, and you pick it up and it's like, whoa, that's not as heavy as it looked like I thought it would be. Yeah, because I'm starting to come across things like that in a variety of places. And I don't know if it's, I know why, but it's because we're talking about it, right? You're starting to pick things up. You're starting to poke things. You know, if you start to poke and prod at things a little bit, you start to figure out what's behind it. So good morning, everybody. And good morning. If you've, go ahead and send out your 3 messages. If you want to do that, type a D in the chat when you finish that, when you've accomplished your goal there. If you're new to this call, if this is your first time on the call, go ahead and drop an N in the chat, because we'd like to welcome you. We'd like to say thanks for being here. Thanks for being a friend. Sydney, great to have you here. Appreciate you. We've got people from all over the world that join this call. Pretty lucky. December 18th, 2018, I started these calls, and it's been kind of fun. We've had people from all over. We get to experience people from all over, and yeah, we get to hear some great stories. Shardia, good morning. I see your hand just went up.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to quickly come on and share something, if that's okay.
Sure.
Since our conversation yesterday, something happened,
Okay.
and I know it's in relation to everything that happened on the call yesterday. So after the call, I was at home, and I realized that I was carrying a lot of anger, and one person came to mind in particular. And speaking to God, I was like, God, I don't want to carry this bag anymore. How can I put it down and pick up joy? And it's so funny. Before I went to bed, around 11 o'clock British time, the person called me, the person I was thinking about. He called, and he was so apologetic, and he was asking for forgiveness. And I want to thank everyone on this call that openly gave me love and enabled me to use that love to forgive someone, and in turn ask for forgiveness. And I know that was a direct correlation of all the love that you guys sent to me yesterday. And I just want to say a massive, massive thank you. Even if you didn't type it in the chat, if you had me in thought, I appreciate you guys so much. And Rhonda for speaking those amazing words into me, and just for coming across this platform. It's been amazing, but I do have a question. And also, when I just came on your call, you said when you open up the box, I guess I opened it up yesterday, and all kinds of things are coming out. My question is...
Come on, girl. Come on, bring it. Let's see what else is in that box. Look what I just found.
My question is, Sean, obviously some days are going to be harder than some. Some days the devil is going to try a little bit harder. How do I stay in that space of joy? How do I continue to choose joy? I mean, even in fear, even in doubt, even in, the worst of days, how do I continue to choose it?
So that's an awesome question. And it's about knowing if it's possible. The reason that we have opportunities to make choices in our life is to choose what's possible.
Yeah.
And when we step into the unknown, we either step forward in faith or back in fear. So you had a pretty amazing experience yesterday. If I understand correctly, after our call, after you and Rhonda had this amazing conversation and people poured their love into you, without calling that individual, they called you.
Yes.
So whoever was asking about the law of attraction yesterday, there you go. So now they called and they asked for your forgiveness. You gave or didn't give. You did whatever you did, but it was these aha moments of, oh my God, this can't be happening. Is this happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
That's because you were in joy. And when you gave up the resistance, the attraction happens. So how do you stay in that joy?
Yeah.
Was there anything yesterday that just kept you in awe, that kept you in this wonderful belief that maybe life, this moment in time wasn't so bad, maybe it was pretty good? What was amazing about yesterday for you?
My girls yesterday, because I normally have a routine for every day, and after I got off the call with you guys, I kind of put the routine to one side. I spent some time with my girls, my kids.
Right.
Yeah, and just enjoyed the day. I didn't really think about anything else. I didn't think about my trading, which went in the way that I thought it would. And I think it's because I wasn't worried about it, and I wasn't stressed, and I wasn't getting on top of myself. I just left it.
So your time with your girls yesterday, the time with your kids yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you guys laugh?
We did. Yep.
Did you smile?
A lot.
Was that joy?
It was.
That's how you get there. It's easy. We can get into misery by ourselves, but sometimes joy, we need an army, right? What do they say? What's that thing? It takes a village to raise the kids.
Yep.
It takes a village to raise our joy. So I would find a couple of people who that you have faith in, you have trust in, that if you're heading towards no joy land,
Mm-hmm.
you can send them a text and they'll say, "Where are you going? Where are you going? You better get your butt back over here." And they bring you back to Joyland. It's when you feel like things are going a little sideways, just send out messages of gratitude and joy. Everybody sent those chats to you yesterday.
Yeah.
You may have known a handful of them, but you were seeing hearts and joys and gratitude and love.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that. Send some messages out, right? Because what happens is here's the question. If we start to lose our joy, and this is for everybody, if we start to lose our joy, is it because we have no space for joy? Have we filled up our bucket with joy with something else? Have we dipped it into the wrong pool? So all of a sudden, it's like, well, I'm not in joy. What do I do? Well, I can't send out joy. I'm going to say, yeah, you can, because what'll happen is it'll come back flooding back from all of your friends. So if you start to feel a little, send out 30 messages. Hey, listen, I love you. Thank you. And that's it. Copy and paste. And they'll receive it and go, oh, and they'll start to send it back and it'll change your vibration.
Mm-hmm.
You changed the routine yesterday.
Yeah.
Had fun with your girls, played, laughed, didn't worry about a trade or this, that, or the other. You were in joy. Who told you to put aside the thing? Your heart. Who told you to not worry about the trade? Your heart. Your brain's going, what is going on here? Have you lost your mind? This isn't what we do. No, we're in joy. And then we do that so well, somebody who wants our forgiveness shows up and says, hey, would you forgive me? And you're like, and you're like the queen going, I absolve you of your sins. Right? Or not going, nope, you got a little more penance to do. Either way, you were in joy. That's how you stay in joy. That's how you remember it. So I applaud you. RBP, what do you got to say to this amazing soul?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm trying to get to a place. I got a sleepover happening in my living room, so I'm trying to let them sleep. That's why y'all see me almost falling and sneaking around the house in a dark house. So that's pretty freaking impressive that that's what you had come to you because of the forgiveness you were giving yourself and the joy that you stepped into.
Yep.
So what part of that is scary?
Nothing yesterday was scary. I was open to it. You know, I listened from a good place because, you know, there was a lot of anger there between me and this person, but I was able to listen from a good place. And in turn, I even asked for forgiveness. You know, asked me 2 weeks ago, that probably wouldn't have happened.
Right.
He was wrong and he did. But I was in a good place. So, you know, it's just remembering to stay there. It's trying or choosing.
I guess that's the hesitation that I'm sensing. I know whenever I've done something like this, y'all bear with me, I gotta walk back through the dark house for a second. When I've ever done anything like this, it's the part that scares me is I've got to let go of that.
Yeah.
Like, I can't own, how do I say this? I can't own the hurt that they gave me. Like, I have to let go of that for good. Because if I own the hurt that I took from that situation, then I didn't really forgive him. And I've gotten scared at moments like that because then I have to ask myself, okay, was it real? Or did I just hear some things and go, oh, yeah, that sounds good. I want some of that. So then it kind of begins to settle in. So maybe that's the hesitation I'm sensing. But how about the joy that you got from releasing the bad or releasing what you didn't need to hold on to and all the extra that came rushing into you? And this is what I've noticed. So you mentioned something else that I've noticed. And you can ask Sean this. This is the craziest thing. Every time I have a situation similar to that, and I walk through some more forgiveness, and I forget, quote unquote, forget about my business for the day, and I just set it aside and I sit with my daughter and my niece and, you know, hang out with the cat or whatever, I end up with new customers. Almost every time. You can ask Sean. We'll be sitting on a phone call dealing with issues, or we'll be hanging out going, hey, how was your day? My day was great. What did you do? I hung out with my daughter. What'd you do? Well, I went walking with my wife. And after 15, 20 minutes of being in that phone call, new customers will hit that I haven't spoken to. So your trading will change as you begin to pay attention to what's important in your life. Yeah. And instead of taking care of the urgent, you take care of the important. And that changes everything drastically. And that's what you did yesterday. You took care of the important. You handled the feelings and emotions that weren't serving you. You handled the unforgiveness that wasn't serving you. And what it was serving you wasn't worth keeping. So it wasn't giving you any type of anything to hold on to that was life-giving. It was sucking life out of you. And you didn't think about your trading, and you took care of your daughters, and all this joy has settled in. You have this look about you. You're smiling. You're on the camera instantly. You're ready to show yourself. So to speak, you're ready to show yourself to the world. You're not worried about what the world thinks about you. And all that is took care of them, and the urgent will taken care of. It'll be fine. Does that make sense? I'm saying that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we get captivated by the urgent.
Yeah.
And the important never gets handled. And then we stay in a state of stress. So you did the opposite. You took care of the important, and then you were able to sit with your children in true joy.
Yeah.
And you ask the question, how do you do that again? Well, how do you do it this time? You chose joy.
Yeah.
Like we want it to be hard because we haven't done it before. So we want it to be hard so we can go, oh man, that was challenging. But in reality, it's easy as I choose joy right now.
Yeah.
So it's not a mystery. I get tickled. I'm glad you're giggling, because I get tickled sometimes because a lot of people will jump on the calls with Sean and and they're expecting, and by all means, I respect Sean a lot and I know his wisdom, but they expect this like magical, unbelievable wisdom, and it really is. He chooses joy.
But it couldn't possibly be that simple, right? If it was that simple.
Couldn't be. But it is. Shh. Don't tell nobody.
Right. Don't share our secret with anybody, Shardia. Don't tell anybody. All you have to do is choose it.
No, because let me tell you about the 75-page, $300.95 program you could buy from me. And at the end of it, it'll say, choose joy.
But if you act now, it's only $59.99.
That's
now.
right. And if you do it in the next 2 minutes, it's $9.99, and we'll get you joy going right now. But if you listen carefully, you can have it free.
So I'm super excited for you, Shardia. You exude joy. Your smile is amazing, and you look like you're just sitting there having the best life.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
thank
And I
you.
love waking up. I know there's a big difference, but I love waking up to see you. What a blessing that is for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
And
lots of love, girl.
I just want to say, Sydney said something a little bit ago in the chat. She said, "Wow, it feels warm in this chat." Sydney, I'm glad you're here, but I got to tell you, that's probably one of the better compliments I think I've ever received. I know most people will see that and not, they'll see it and they'll hear it and grasp it, but for you to feel that, that is absolutely the place that we like to create here. That's the place I desire to create. This just warm. Come on over. Let's sit down. Let's watch Shardia and watch this smile, this bubbly, joyful human being who yesterday was just a ball of opportunity. And today, because she made a decision yesterday to just be in joy, to love those kids. This is pretty cool. You know, this is why, I didn't have so much for this. And I'm Shardia, I got to thank you for showing up to just say, hey, listen, I may have had a little bit of a breakthrough. You had a huge breakthrough. You had joy. You had that bird of joy come by and just go boop, and you got joy all over the place. You couldn't walk without stepping into joy.
I couldn't wait to tell you guys. Honestly, I couldn't even sleep last night. I was so excited. I was so excited to come back and tell you what happened. Honestly, thank you.
How cool is that? Y'all hear that? This is something we were a part of.
Yeah.
I'm curious who else slept a little better last night? Who else had a little more excitement last night? Because you know the funny thing yesterday, Shardia, I was talking with Rhonda, and look at all these people they had just a little bit different day because of what you shared yesterday. Listen, I want to let you in on a little secret. Ladies, we need you. We need you. Fell asleep to Jim Rohn. How cool is that? I was on a mentorship call last night with Jim Rohn's business partner for 18 years, Kyle Wilson. I'm part of his mastermind since he started it. And we talked about the Les Brown conversation yesterday. Oh, Rhonda, I got to tell you, on our call yesterday, we had, I think there was 30 of us in the mastermind who were on the call. And he said, I got to tell you, he says, Sean interviewed Les Brown this past Saturday. He said, he says, I kept getting told to get up. He said, no, I'll just watch the replay. He said, but I kept getting told to get up to watch it. He says, and I got up and I got on the call. Now, this is Kyle Wilson, Jim Rohn's business partner for 18 years, who does masterminding. And he's just, I mean, he's my buddy. We're friends, as well as students of each other's. But he said, I got up, he says, and I got on early, and there was Les. Les was already on. Les was looking good. Les was looking fine. You know what Kyle said on our call? He said, and then he opened it in prayer. He had this friend of his open it up in prayer, and he says, you know what? I'm going to cry. He says, I think that brought something different. He said, I think that changed everything. It's undeniable that it changed it. He says, I don't know if it awoken Les. I don't know. He says, but it awoken me. He says, and I was ready. He says, it changed the way I listened to that thing. He said, but you know what? He said, Les was the best Les I'd ever seen him. And so thank you for that.
Thank you for that opportunity.
Well, but it's just, you just did what you do well. And it was, to somebody like Kyle, who's an extraordinary marketer and faithful, but he said, yeah, it did set the stage. He said, and then after that, he said, there was just this most amazing, brilliant conversation. And he did say, Sean, he said you just were magical in what you did with Les and how you had the conversation. So part one, listen, here's the other funny thing. I don't know if any of y'all are on here, but I sent out a little test message with John Leslie's little, it's your time, his answer to Kevin. And 30 of you instantly unsubscribed to the list. So those folks who unsubscribed are not going to be able to get the replay, because that's the only list I have. That's the only place I could send it out to. So anyways, if you were one of those folks that unsubscribed, you may want to send me a message, say, could I get back on the list? But thank you for that, Rhonda. So who else has got a comment or thought?
Sean.
You bet. No, it was brilliant. The whole thing was brilliant. So the conversations that are happening now, this awakening, opening the box and finding out what was in the box of truth. I mean, think about it. I've seen these YouTube videos where that Russian guy, he'll buy the mystery box for $1,500 and then open it up and see what's in it. How many of us are walking around with a mystery box called our life? What's in it? How many of us, if we opened up our box, would find out, well, who put that in there? Right? Whose is that? Where did that come from? So, yeah, so if you'd like to make a comment or share a thought, that'd be great. Raise your hand or just pop on the mic and share your thoughts or ideas.
I just really want to say that I appreciate you and I love you dearly. I hop on, and you know what's the craziest thing, Sean, is that today's episode is 420, and you know that number follows me. And it just made me like have some type of frequency, like body, I don't know. And then I just recently got on, and the first thing you was just talking about spreading like that love and appreciation. I went ahead and did that. And it gave me so much joy, but in reality, like it made me go back to be grateful, because I'm grateful for everything. Being grateful for you because you are here today to bring that awareness and spreading that love. And there's something that I always pray. I always ask God to be able to allow me to spread that love and that awareness and that, you know, support. And you give me that. And I just want to thank you.
Well, you know, I love you bunches, and y'all send some love to Michelle, because as you spread that joy, my dear, you do need to refill. You do need to take some time to refill. So I'm glad you come here. You know, you can always count on me to send you some love. Look at all the hearts going up for you. Listen, we need each other. There's no competition out there. There isn't. There's a world of cooperation, right? Right now, the world's trying to figure out how to get back on its feet. And really what it needs to do is figure out how to operate from its heart, right? Because every mother takes care of her kids, either on her knees or sitting on a chair and holding them and hugging them. We don't have to be going 90 miles an hour to love our kids, to love our family. And as Les Brown said in his said in the interview, he says, God got mad at everybody and sent us all to our room. He said, you know, I was thinking the other day, he says, boy, I wish I could get 2019 back. Please come back 2019. I won't be so mean. 2018, I love you, but boy, we all got sent to our rooms. We did. What are you doing in your room? What are you doing in your room? Are you complaining? Yeah, he grounded us. He did ground us, right? And we got to decide, okay, what do we say I'm sorry for? Ooh, funny how that just popped up. What do we say I'm sorry for? Who do we have to say I'm sorry to? Hinges off the door. You're right, Valentino. And he took the hinges off the door. Yeah. maybe when we were saying we were doing our homework, we would actually have to be doing our homework, reading in the Bible. We're reading in the Bible, and we weren't looking at Mad Magazine or something like that. I think I just dated myself with that magazine. But y'all are amazing, and I need every one of you. I do. I need every one of you today just to be in a little bit more joy, because it'll spread around you. Look what it did when Shardia came on and she said, I'm so excited, I can't sleep. I had to tell y'all. How many of us got all excited? We all did. That's how you spread joy. Just be in joy. You can't not be it, right? Somebody walks by and they have a beautiful perfume on. They're not going, hey, y'all smelling my perfume? Y'all checking me out? Check me out. Some of y'all do that on social media. Hey, check this out. Look how good I am. I can't smell you through Instagram. I smell something, but I ain't sure what it is. But somebody walks by with a little dog poo on their shoe. You're like, what is that? You got to, what is that thing that you're exuding, right? You take a picture of Shardia right now. You watch this. Look, you just take that picture right there. Snap. Tell me what state she's in. She's in joy. Gina, you got your hand up, my dear. What you want? What you want, girl? Where are you at?
Good morning.
There it is. There's that face. Hello.
Hi, Sean.
Hello, my
Okay,
dear.
so after I had my little breakthrough on Sunday,
Yeah.
the past couple days, I don't know if I'm allowing something else to steal my joy, because I've been feeling I don't know if I've been feeling stuck a little bit.
Sure. So
I need help.
yes. So first of all, thank you.
Thank
Second
you.
of all, I love you.
I love you.
Is it okay? Is it okay if the story changes?
Yes, I want to change.
So you want it to change.
Mhm.
And what do you want it to change to?
To me, choosing joy no matter what the situation is.
Yeah. So let me see your smile.
Stop.
No. Yeah, exactly. So when you're in this state right now, in this moment, when you and I are giggling with each other, what state are you in if you had to describe it?
I'm in joy.
Well,
But
it's kind of joy. It's not really joy yet.
I don't know what it is, because
Yeah.
even now,
you're being nice to me because you know I love you and you know you love me, and we have this amazing relationship. The question is can it be unbound? Can you let it off its leash? Tell me something that absolutely makes you laugh. What's something that makes you laugh? Is there a character in the cartoons on TV? Is there a funny movie clip that just you can't watch without just absolutely giggling? Is there a story that you remember?
I like stand-up comedy. That makes me
Okay,
laugh.
who's somebody that's funny?
I think I'd say Cat Williams.
Okay, so you see how you just started to giggle all of a sudden thinking about it? Did you get that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how you stay in joy. This isn't, I gotta work hard at this. Shardia, how are you laughing right now? Tell us, you guys, listen, I need the two of you to talk. I need you to mentor this amazing other soul to just say, I don't know what's going on, but this is why I'm in. So get off your mic and turn your mic on and just tell her, how are you in joy?
From yesterday, I opened up to receive it, I guess.
Yeah, but today, right now, how are you in joy? How are you sitting there smiling? How are you sitting there able to hear the birds? How are you sitting there giggling?
I don't know. I woke up this way. I went to bed happy. I woke up happy, and I don't know. How am I this way, Sean?
So this is what I'm talking about. See, any one of us can give us 1,001 reasons why we're not happy. But when we're happy, we're like, how the hell is this happening? Who's doing this to me?
Sean,
Yes.
it's contagious.
It is contagious. Listen, you're either the cure or the cause. And I need a whole bunch of cures running around here.
can I say something?
Yes, you can.
Who
Like I
remembers,
could stop you.
who remembers the movie Mary Poppins, the
That's
original?
my favorite movie. I love Mary Poppins.
Wait a minute.
Grew
What?
up. I used. Oh my God! I used to learn the
remembers the-
choreography with Andy Van Dyke on the roof. I love that one.
Who remembers the scene when they're all in the ceiling,
Yes.
happy, and they're floating in the air?
Yes.
What was that song? What was that song? I can't think of the song
Somebody
right
will
now.
Google it. Somebody will find it for us before we.
All right, I'm done. Go ahead. You have the microphone.
So Gina,
Yes.
are you getting a little happier?
Yes. I think it's because yesterday I found myself like stressing mostly like about the business. So then I went to sleep kind of stressed. So
Okay.
I kind of like I woke up a little like on the other side of the bed.
I'm
So
sorry,
here-
Shauna and Gigi. I'm not to interrupt. It's called "I Love to Laugh."
Can I give a quick input on how like to help your feelings and stuff? Like, so when you wake up in the morning, the first 20 minutes of your day is the most like important minutes of your day, and the last 20 minutes. So when you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep, just like watch a motivational video to give you joy or uplift you to help you throughout your day.
Young man with the Boston shirt on, tell me your name.
Dewey Carpenter.
Dewey. Good morning, Dewey. Thanks for showing up, brother.
No problem. No problem.
And
Glad to
listen,
be here.
I got to tell you, I don't know. I feel like I don't even qualify. I should turn my mic off. I mean, my camera off. We got all these like studs and gorgeous women. It's like, dude, I got a man crush. I'm just saying. So you're absolutely right. The last 20 minutes and the first 20 minutes. Here's the thing. We spend all day awake. And when we think we go to sleep, Gina, we go to sleep. We don't. Our brain actually goes into overdrive. And the last thing, like Dewey just said, those 20 minutes, that's why I'm going to ask you, I love you. Did you journal last night before you went to bed?
I did. I wrote down some questions.
Okay, but what questions did you write down?
And I gotta get the journal.
That's okay. So you can find that in a second. But here's the thing. Did you do the 3 questions that I suggest? Would I do well?
No, I didn't do those.
Yeah, see, that's why you wind up frustrated because you didn't even give yourself an attaboy, a little pat on the back. Listen, when you go to bed at night, if there's not somebody there to go, you're amazing, we're going to have to tell ourselves. You are amazing. You made it through a day. You showed up in a history of time that has never existed before, and you survived, and you made it through, and you thrived, and you witnessed yesterday Shardia going through this absolute hellstorm, and she came out of it, and here in 24 hours, she went from that to this bubbling, joy-filled human being laughing. So here's the things, Mia. What did I do well today? What could I do a little bit better? What could I have done a little bit better? I could have said thank you more often. I could have done this more often. And then the third one is, what talent, resource, or contact do I need to connect with tomorrow? So what did I do well? Right? Give yourself some credit. By gosh. And ladies, I love you. Ladies, it's okay if you say, I'm good. It's okay if you say, I did some pretty amazing things today, because you did. Guys, we kind of have it. Our brains operate different. We're like, no, I did good. Like, really? No, I did good. We can see the good, and sometimes, and it's just sometimes a very little good, but we can see that. Ladies, on the other hand, women's brains sometimes, especially if you're a mom, if you do anything for yourself, you're instantly reminded you're being selfish. I'm going to remind you to be self-full. So what I do well, what could I do better? What talent, resource, or contact do I need to come into my life tomorrow? And you'll be amazed at who shows up. You'll go, you won't believe what happened. And now your brain, because your brain looks for two things: will it kill me, or how fast can I recognize the pattern? If it doesn't know the pattern, all of a sudden it's thinking about, because it's going to store the things that are most important. Imagine a little guy in your mind. Imagine a little brain gnome running around inside your brain. And when you start to rest your eyes and when you fade off to sleep, the first thing it's got to do is, when you're starting to calm your body, the reason it sometimes takes you a while to get to sleep is that little brain gnome is running around in there going, oh, what do I got to do? Where do I put this? Where do I put that? And it's trying to put all these memories from everything that's happening all day long. And it's going to find the file that is the most prevalent file that you like to store stuff in. So if you have a real crappy day, it's going to go, where's all the crappy stuff? Okay, this goes over there, and that goes in the crappy file, and that goes in the crappy file. I thought that was good, but I guess that goes in the crappy file too, and it puts all this stuff in whatever file is the file you normally pull from. A SpongeBob episode. Yeah, you're right. Mr. Krabs. And so you don't see anything that's good. I promise you, if we hold up the mirror, sometimes we could have a day that I would look at your day. If I followed you around, that'd be creepy. But if I followed you around, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing now? Hey, what are you doing? I would see this day of yours and I'd go, this is absolutely amazing. And you'd be like, there ain't a damn thing good happened to me today. I'm like, how are you not seeing what I'm seeing? So if you start to ask yourself, what did you do well? Hey, Gina, have you thanked yourself for the beautiful smile that you give us?
No.
Yeah. So say, hey, y'all, I got a beautiful smile.
Hey, y'all, I have a beautiful smile.
This is how we break this. This is how we break these chains. We got to have friends that love us more than we love us. We got to have friends who love us for the things we won't love ourselves for. This is why we need community. This is why every one of you is so very important. Well, wait a minute. I thought this was about business. We're here to build people. Listen, I've done this for 22 years in this profession. You want to know the secret that nobody will tell you? This ain't tough. People aren't joining you for your company. They're not joining you for your comp plan. They're joining you to have a solution they've never had before. And if you can't provide it for them, they're going to keep looking. And if they don't feel that they're worthy of the success, they'll never see it. They'll never get it. And you'll be saying, this would be so good for them. I don't know why they don't do it. They get so far forward. They take 4 steps forward and they take 6 steps back. And I don't know why they do that. Because nobody has told them it's okay to be in joy. You guys are amazing. You're brilliant. Don't be me, be you. Take what I say, turn it into yours. But it's not more complicated than this. When Shardia was with her kids, they were laughing. Her kids were geniuses. They kept her in joy. As smart as she is, with all the knowledge she has, she couldn't stay in joy by herself. It was her kids, her young, beautiful girls that kept her in joy. How many kids were laughing need a PhD in laughter? Right? And then when we hear that one kid who's just that one video that you'll see, whatever video it is, but they're just laughing and they're like that gut rolling, that gut and you can't not laugh. The secret is all around us. Man, I want to be happy. Let me look at something that makes me miserable. Man, I want to be happy. Let me look at something that makes me miserable. You're going to have to look at something that makes you happy. It's not it's rocket science. Start laughing. Yeah, Diane, record that laugh. Make it a ringtone. I want to hear Gina laugh.
Stop.
See my love, it's that simple. So if you need somebody that needs to make you laugh, you call me.
Okay.
and here's what happens. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
You have an older brother.
Okay, older brother. So this has probably never happened, where you were sad and he was laughing and he was trying to laugh to help you get happy again. And you're like, I don't want to laugh. And you got madder and madder, and he was trying to laugh harder and harder, and he was now laughing harder that you getting madder. Do you ever have that happen?
Probably.
Yeah, probably. And you're like, stop laughing at me. And you're like, I want you to be happy. Listen, nobody ever got happy by being told, why don't you be happy? Nobody ever got happy by being, and nobody ever calmed down by somebody saying, calm down. So here's a question. What's holding you back right now? What old story? What thing do you think you need to do to release that, to untie yourself from that frustration?
I would say like release the resistance, because I feel like I've kind of been resisting it.
Mm-hmm. What would happen if you let go of the resistance?
I can be in joy no matter the situation.
Right. So who's telling you that the resistance is necessary?
It's an old story.
Yeah.
I have another question.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Yeah.
Remember what the question is? You remember what the question is?
Yes.
I want to ask you this because is this question a true question, or is it a distraction to get you to release the resistance?
Might be a little bit of both.
Yes, a little bit releasing the resistance. Remember the question.
Okay.
This is how this works. We'll answer questions, and because somebody who wants to answer the question wants to be of service, thinks they're being of service when they get off the thing, and it's like, well, I'm not sure if I'm there, but I got another question. Oh, we haven't finished the first one yet. If you were to describe this thing that's holding you back, what would it look like? Is it just around your wrist? Is it around your waist? Is it something you're bumping up against? Is it a wall? Is it something attached to you, this resistance? If you were to describe it, how does it feel?
I feel like it's something attached to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. And if you were to close your eyes and you were to start to see your body moving and you were start to moving, is it pulling you? Is it like attached to the front of your body? Is it like around your heart area? Is it attached? Is it attached to your back? Where do you see this thing that's attached to you? If you were to
I feel like it's around my heart area.
Yeah, it's around your heart area. So if you were to try to describe the size of it, is it like is the size of your chest, this thing that's, it's like a jacket, like somebody's grabbing your jacket and you're feeling all of that pressure across all of your chest in the front of it? Or is it something in the back area around your heart? Where would you describe this resistance at?
I'd say, like you said the first time, like somebody's grabbing at my chest.
Somebody's grabbing at your chest. If you were to tell them to stop, what would happen?
I don't know.
So just close your eyes for a second and tell them, stop. What do you hear?
You're here now.
Is this resistance do they think they're trying to protect you? Right? Like if you're at the edge of a cliff and they were holding you and keeping you from falling over the edge? Or is this you're running towards joy and they're saying, you don't quite deserve that yet?
I feel like it's more of a protection.
Okay. So can you say to this resistance, I'm okay? So that protection is keeping you from something it doesn't know. So maybe this is an old story from somebody who's been a patriarch or a matriarch in your life, and you're stepping into the unknown, and because they don't know it, all they can say is they don't want you to go there because they've never been there before. You've seen it. You've stepped into it. You've snuck into this place before, haven't you? You've snuck into joy before without anybody knowing. And now all of a sudden, if you go there openly and freely, all of a sudden the world says, we've never been there, so it's got to be unsafe. What if you started to tell them about the invitation, right? You started to invite them into the Willy Wonka factory. You started to say, but there's nothing but joy inside here. Would it be okay? Let me take you on a trip. What if all of a sudden you became powerful, and instead of their resistance, you became the strength, and you just kind of drag them into it a little bit. You let them peek around the corner into this room full of joy. Are you strong enough to bring others into joy? Let me ask you that.
Not until I bring myself into joy.
Well, so how can you bring yourself, how can you put a toe inside the room of joy and bring us into it?
By opening the door.
You're opening the door, but how can you physically do that to us? How can you bring us into your room of joy? We may still be on the edge and still standing in the door frame, and we can see into the room, but we haven't entered into the room yet. How can you bring us there? How can you stand in the doorway and show us where the room of joy is? Start to smile. Your smile is infectious. Your laughter is infectious. We all go, "Who? I got to get where you are. Where's she going? Where's Gina going? Where'd she go? Where'd she go? There she is." And we're listening for your giggles. Well, it can't be that easy. It can be. Your love can take us on a journey like we've never been before. And so in your business, this is what they're feeling. This is the, ladies and gentlemen, this is when I talk about the essence of your language. You could have the world's greatest script, but if the essence isn't there, it won't do a darn thing. It just won't. It can't. It's like having all of the ingredients to chicken soup, but they're raw. No, they haven't been cooked in the pot yet. They'd be like, "Man, that looks like great chicken soup, but that recipe ain't no good." I'm going to ask you to cook up your joy. So who's that person that you like that's funny?
Cat Williams.
Yeah? You see how you can't even sit without smiling? Listen, the secret isn't that there's some secret. There's no secret. Just do what makes you joyful. I'm a high school graduate. My first semester, I had a 0.9 grade point average. I am not the sharpest knife in the drawer. And I learned the secret is there's no secret. People have made millions about this. It's been every book. When you watch the movie The Secret, she says, "Oh, I found out there's people all around us that have known the secret. And they've told us the secret. We just choose not to read the secret." Well, we read it, we watch it, we buy the tapes, we buy the movie, we go to the theater, we do this, we buy more books, we buy more tapes, we buy more books, we buy more tapes. I don't know if anybody reads their primary language as anything other than English, but in English, I know there's 26 letters. How can we keep success hidden from so many people for hundreds of years with the same 26 letters? We've been in the study of personal development for 2,000 years. That's what's called the Stoics. Epictetus, Socrates, Plato, all of these people have been asking, what's the secret of life? Kung Fu Panda, you're absolutely right. How am I supposed to survive on what do they call it? Dew? What was it? I need a little bit more dew. Yeah, open this. Go ahead, Rhonda.
Where's the best place to hide something?
Right in front of you.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, right in front of you, right in plain sight. So when you asked the question just now, how do we keep success hidden from everyone? You put it right in front of them.
Smack dab in front of them, because we're always attracted to the distraction. We're doing this and we can't see what's right there.
That's it. I mean, Gina, every time you look in the mirror, every time I look at you, I smile and I see tenderness. And I can't help but be attracted to that. Every time you look in the mirror, you can see that. But every time you look in the mirror, you probably go, "Oh my gosh, that hair's not laid down right. And oh man, that eyebrow didn't go on just perfect. Oh, look at that blemish right there."
Wait.
And
how does an eyebrow go on?
White men don't know that. Don't worry about it,
What
okay?
are you talking about? The eyebrow didn't go on right. Are you kidding me? I know eyelashes, right? With that big old egg. It looks like you're going to fry an egg with that thing you squeeze on your eyebrow. I'm like, I don't know how you don't rip your eyelashes. What do you mean the eyebrow didn't go on right?
Stop.
You buy eyebrow. I mean, I've seen the skits where somebody rips it off with tape and they're like, in some TikTok or something.
You're so funny.
The eyebrow.
Anyway,
Right.
what I was trying to say. Now I'm crying.
serious. How does an eyebrow not go on right? Aren't they like right there already? Am I missing something? I'm missing.
Yes, some people ain't got no eyebrows, and you got to put them on.
Well, okay. I've seen that, but I mean, how do you not? Okay. Right.
Anyway, what I was trying
Welcome
to say.
to my world.
This is why Sean can sit and enjoy so easy. Everything is really. It's like a kid. I love it. No, Gina, what I was telling you is that's what I see every time I look at you. And it's right in front of your face. Like right in front of your face. And you can't see it. You can't see it. That's the best place to hide something, is right in front of your face. I'm sitting over here having all these little breakthroughs listening to you. And the reason you're not having, probably one of the reasons you're not having these breakthroughs is you think for some reason it can't happen to you because you're so distracted by, but it could never happen to someone like me, or I haven't lived long enough for that to happen to, or I haven't done this for that to be able to happen to me. And it's all these works that you think you have to have had and accomplished for this success to come to you. Because that's how I was. I told Sean 897 million times every time he'd go, come to this meeting. I'm like, listen, dude, y'all too high up for me. I ain't done nothing to be around y'all. Like, I ain't got no results. I can't be around y'all.
And here's how you get Rhonda. Okay. Well, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can't say that to me. Well, you said you didn't want to come, but I want to come. Well, I ain't begging you.
Right? So there's nothing you've had to do to be able to be joyful. You could just be joyful.
Gina,
Mm-hmm.
tell me the story.
What story?
The story that's holding you back.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
No, you know it. You absolutely know it. There ain't nobody else that's going to figure it out. You're the only one that knows it, and you know it. And you're thinking it can't be that.
I mean, it goes back to the whole self-worth thing that I'm still working with.
Tell me who told you that.
I feel like everybody, but I'm like, is that just the illusion that I told myself that everybody told me that?
Everybody did tell you that because that's what you heard. Who do we need to work on first? What story that you're still believing that somebody said? So tell me a story that somebody said you're not good enough. What's the memory?
Well, there's like one I can think of right now off the top of my head.
That for a second.
It was like a past partner.
Okay.
And I was like thinking of like dabbling in modeling. And then he told me like, you're pretty, but you're not pretty enough to be a model.
Right. So who disagrees with that right now? Just drop a chat. Just drop some stuff in the chat.
Can I drop a me too? But
so
I will fight him. I'm next in line.
Somebody's gonna bleed today. I got it next.
Joe, you see what's happening in the chat? I don't know if you can read it that fast. I've not seen it pop up that fast.
There's a reason the scripture says hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Yeah.
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 So Gina.
Yes.
If you wanted to model, what would you do right now? If you knew that all of these people who just told you could model, where would you go? What would you look at? What information would you start to dig up to go find out about modeling?
Where to start? Okay.
Yeah. Anybody on here do any modeling? Anybody ever done any modeling? Can give Gina some clues, some tips. Monique, I figured you did.
Hi.
girl.
Okay.
Connect one week.
So, yeah, I don't even know where to begin with this, but first of all, whoever told you that has no idea what they're talking about, because as far as I know, some of the most successful models in the world are the most awkward people that everybody else will look at and go, well, that's not conventional beauty, because beauty isn't a measurement and it isn't how you look. It's how you carry yourself, and it's your inside. So, and that is truth. Okay. And I'll tell you right now, because I go to a lot of auditions, and it's not enough to be pretty. And they don't just look at your inside. They're looking at your, believe it or not, they're looking at the energy you bring into the room. It's all about energy, and that goes with modeling, and that goes with acting as well. So don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not worthy, you're not pretty, because nobody can tell you that. You have to know that you were created in absolute perfection. You have to know that.
Can you hear that, Gina?
Yeah, I had to write it down too.
Yeah, I can
And Gina, when you really know that, it will show, and nobody will be able to take their eyes off of you.
I can't take my eyes off of her, and I shouldn't probably be saying that. I want to put her in my pocket with her eyebrows on right or wrong, however the hell that works. I'm okay if your eyebrows are off, girl. Am I allowed to say that? So, Gina,
Mm-hmm.
do you believe you're worthy?
I am worthy.
Oh, was that a tear? I hope that was a tear.
You know, I'm quick to cry on here.
I know you are, but that's why this one is this is a big one. This is a big one because you haven't let go yet.
Yeah.
You haven't let go yet. So that story that he told is still stuck with you. How long has that been since you've been with that individual?
About maybe 3-4 years.
Y'all see what happens? Right? The power of life lies in the tongue. What's that thing, Rhonda?
Life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Yeah. And so somebody 3 years ago left a comment on a wall on Gina's heart, and it hadn't gone yet. And she's laughed and she's cried and she's laughed and she's joyful, but that thing is still there.
Sean, I have
Go ahead.
I have a question just about what you just said.
Yep.
What is it about our consciousness, or what is it about these stories that we harden, right? Because it becomes hardened over time.
Yep.
What is it about that that continues to be in the background, even through, Gigi's laughing and joy and even all of that? That conversation is still in the background.
So because it was highly charged emotional moment. I can remember the moment that somebody pulled a gun on me in Lima, Peru. Like instantly. I can tell you everything about it. And it only lasted 3 seconds.
Wow.
But I can remember it. I can remember the 2 times I almost died in industrial accidents. Just highly emotional. And here's what happened. So this addiction to approval, right? Because that's what this is. As much as we've tried to overcome it, it has wired itself in hard. And that is one of those moments that it was highly emotional, because she had a dream and somebody that was supposedly a trusting soul, a worthy soul, somebody that she had listen, it comes back to this. We put authority in things we have no authority over. So this authority that Gina has, this story that she's not pretty enough, she's not tall enough, she's not short enough, she's not this enough, that enough, or eyebrow on enough, or whatever the story is, that it's still sitting there from 3 or 4 years ago, that you're not good enough. And every day wanting to fix that, every day wanting to prove that wrong, every day wanting to resist that. And in the resistance, what we resist persists. So this addiction to approval that happens, and it gets wired in, and it gets wired in, and it gets wired in. So there's a phenomenon in the brain, something called neural pruning. And we will actually unwire that. But it takes time. And that's why we can make Gina laugh right now, and we can get her to giggle right now, and she'll giggle because she's polite, and that's how she's got through life. She's tried to make everybody else happy, and oh, they want me to giggle, I'll giggle. Hi everybody. But that cancer's sitting in there, and it just waits for the moments of joy, and it jumps up and goes, remember me? You're not good enough. So then the question becomes, I've got to work harder to please everybody. I got to work harder to make everybody else happy so that I can love me. And that doesn't work. That exhausts you. It's when you take a moment to realize I'm worthy. Gina, yesterday, how many times did you say thank you to people?
I'm not sure off the top of my head.
Okay. So if you had to guess, what number might you guess?
Maybe like 20 times.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you to do 100 today. Because the way that you change this is you've got to get into the vibration of change. We can have a conversation, we can dive into it, and we can go through it. But right now, I wouldn't want to unleash that just yet, because it's huge. It's bigger than even you think it is.
I feel it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to give you some authority back. So if anybody understands or knows how to communicate or text Gigi, send her messages all day long today. I'm gonna ask you to send out 100 thank yous, Gigi. Well, they're not even gonna come across right. You can't send a thank you out without it coming across right. You've been wired to do that. And you just need some love flowing back in. So if you know her and you know how to blow up her phone, blow up her phone. Message her on Instagram, on IG, or anything, or any of the ways that you guys can communicate with her, WhatsApp, whatever, but send her massive love, because she's about to enter into a little bit of a confrontation, because that's what's showing up now.
Well, I had like a memory kind of pop up.
Yeah, go ahead.
And it was like another significant other that I've had in the past. So kind of a lot of this stems from significant others that I've held on to. And I just remember like that relationship was really, really toxic, like very toxic, but it was my first relationship. So I feel like I didn't know any better. I was really naive, and that person took advantage of my kindness.
Yep.
And I just remember like a memory of them saying that you might as well stay with me because nobody else is going to want you.
So how many people would disagree with that?
Yes.
I want you. I'm going to put you in my pocket.
I disagree.
I disagree.
You're beautiful, Gigi. Just know that. You don't need nobody's approval.
Don't let others make you so.
And I feel like ever since then, I just found myself like searching for my own approval within other people.
Okay.
Something else. What he was saying was what he was feeling, not what you were doing.
He wasn't enough for you. That's why you said that.
Girl, you are powerful beyond measure. You don't even know it. He was scared to lose you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he tried to set you up for failure for the next person. That's why he told you that. He wanted to put that in your mind. You're beautiful, Gigi. Don't let nobody ever steal your joy. Nobody.
He knew how powerful you were. He knew how beautiful you were. That's all that was.
You know, some
Gina,
people
we've
don't know
all
how to.
made these mistakes.
Mhm.
We've all made these mistakes. You're sitting here writing speaking the story that I lived through. I'm just a few more years down the road than you. And the reason you're crying is it's a crock. Yeah, Dana just said it too. It's a crock of crap. And more than likely that dude, sorry guys, y'all forgive me for a minute, he was probably trying to get you in bed. And if he could break you down and make you weak, then that would happen. And I'm not saying all men are that way, so y'all don't get mad at me. But people will do whatever they can to make you weak to gain your strength so they can take your strength and move on because they have none of their own. And you're crying because you know that you were made for more than this. And you're worthy of more than this. And it was a bad judgment call on your part, but it stuck to you. And as Sean begins to use the words of addiction to approval and what flows around addiction to approval, that makes you cry because you all of a sudden you realize, man, I'm a strong woman and something got me addicted and I didn't even know it.
I feel like ever since then I've just beat myself. Like I haven't forgiven myself for putting myself in that situation, and I still just beat myself up. Like how could you be so stupid to stay?
Mm-hmm. That's the so let me expose where some of my addiction to approval came from. The first part was from a family member, and then it spiraled from there. And this is why I want you to hear Sean. And if you have to, call him and do some one-on-ones on your addiction to approval, because my addiction to approval led me to a horrible marriage, a very, very abusive marriage, abuse that I don't tell anybody about because I don't want it in your head. And I've only told maybe 2 people the actual abuse that occurred. And it ran me to that. And you see the strong woman that I am, that when I all of a sudden sat down and looked around and realized the decisions that I had made to get me to where I was, I ended up putting myself in a life-threatening illness because I had broke myself down to the point where my immune system was nothing. And it settled on top of me and darn near killed me. They sent me home to die. That is what addiction to approval will do to you. It will literally kill you. And for you to have Sean step into your life at such a young, beautiful age, and all of us to step into you right now, sister, I'm going to strongly encourage you to reach out because I don't want you going down the road that I went down. Because what you just said, the sentence you just said of, I can't believe I've let myself get here, that is the sentence you will repeat more if you don't break out of this addiction to approval. And Sean is freaking certified in it. Not only did God bring someone that has all kinds of wisdom, he brought you a certified coach in addiction to approval, because this is holding you hostage. And we've seen glimpses of your strength, but I know the strength that sits inside of you, because that's what sat inside of me. And that is now what's actually able to come out of me. And you were and are made for more. And these people that have been speaking into you are just individuals with a greater addiction to approval than what you had. And they just shared their cancer with you. It's not your disease, baby girl. It is not for you. And you do not have to hold on to it. And that is why Sean asked you, tell me the story that put you there. Because what I just told y'all was just skimming the surface. Sean doesn't even know the true story of that story. I've never even told him the details because it's that gory. So sit in this. Don't be scared of it. As long as you're scared of it, you won't deal with it. And that's what you've been doing. You've been scared of it because it's ugly. So you just don't look at it. Just don't, just not gonna look at it. But Sweet Pea, you are not filled with this cancer. It's just trying to attach to you. You're too young. I refuse to sit here, and everybody on this call refuses to sit here and watch you go down with this. I will blow up your phone today. I'm going to be encouraging you. I'm going to be praying for you. I'm here for you. And you've got what you need inside, and God's brought to you what you need from the outside. Sit with Sean. He's safe. From a woman to another woman, he's safe. And he will take care of you as you talk to him and you walk through it with him. And I love you.
I love you too.
May I add something to that? I apologize. I did not. Well, I'm just
Michelle,
going to go
do
ahead
it.
and add something to it. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I didn't catch all of that, but something caught my attention. And this goes not only to Gina, but all women. Don't let the strong woman facade get in your head. We are all human. We all can be strong, yet we can all be weak at times. Things creep in. The devil does this. But that does not take away, just because of our decisions at times, what we do, think. When the devil tries to creep in, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're still not a strong person and a strong woman. And I think as women, we hear so much about having to be strong and all of this. Honey, I'm human. I may be strong, but I'm still human. And it is I don't want to say it's a struggle, but in Sean's words, it's always a choice for how we view things, how we choose joy over misery. Listen, I'm like Rhonda. I went through a 17-year abusive marriage that I actually left the first week we were married, and I don't even know why I went back, but that's how this strong woman did it. Okay? I went back and stayed for 17 years. But yet everybody thinks I'm this strong woman. Well, I mean, I feel that too. But I want you to understand, I think in today's times, we put so much emphasis on the strong woman thing. And it's not. It's just in relationship to men, and Sean can add on this because he's been talking about this more and more, how the women need to step up now, the strong women. We, I feel, are more intuitive, and our strength is different than a man's that Sean is referring to as being a strong woman. But never, ever forget, Gina, you're human first before you're a woman. And I love you dearly, and I apologize. I will go back and watch this later that I didn't catch all of it. But I keep hearing, this strong woman, and I'm seeing more and more young women come forward on these calls because they're not feeling strong. And don't let that stereotype set in with you. You're a human, and you are a woman. We have the strength inside us because that's what God gave us. It's not an outside looking in. It's an inside thing for us. If that makes sense.
Michelle, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Because here's the thing I know. Y'all type an L in the chat if your mother ever had the look. A mama doesn't need to say nothing. You know you're about to get your butt handed to you. So I agree with you, Michelle. This isn't about we've got to go out and be strong and we've got to put on the pencil skirt and we got to get our eyebrows on straight and we got to do all this stuff. That ain't strength. That ain't strength. You want to know strength? You look at Shardia sitting there with outside listening to the birds laughing with her girls. That's strength. When you decide to be you, you don't got to be anything for me other than you be you. You're absolutely right, Michelle. Human being first. Rhonda giggles at me all the time. She goes, do you realize the place that you're given for women, that you created for women? I go, I don't say a dang thing. But you all show up. Brittany shows up and she gives Michelle this breakthrough. Gina's showing up right now and giving people breakthrough. Listen, ladies, I'm honored that you're here, that I get to look at you in a way that most won't, to give you an insight that most can't, because they're trying to fix you. The male mind wants to fix you or put you in a fix, either way. I need you. I need you all to have these conversations with each other. I need and to be able to share this. So Gina, we will have a conversation if you choose to do that. We will chat with each other to awaken this thing inside of you. And would it be okay? Would it be okay if you could say, I can put that down now?
Yes.
Okay. Because let me ask you this question. Do you deserve to be happy?
I do.
Okay. I believe that. I know everybody on this call believes that. And if you deserve to be happy and you believe you can set it down, when would be a good time for that to happen?
No.
So what would be the new story?
That I am good enough.
Yes.
More than good enough.
Yes. Can I say that to you? Can I say you're more than enough?
Mm-hmm.
Can I say that you're beautiful and you're good enough for every moment of life that's about to come? You're good enough. You're strong enough. You're smart enough. You're beautiful enough. Rhonda, could you speak into her?
Okay, sorry, can't get my mic off. Yeah, actually, what I'm feeling, and I hope he's still on here. Leo, are you still on here?
I am right here, Rhonda.
Leo, I'm feeling you need to speak words of love over her. I don't know what you're hearing right now, and if you're not hearing, tap into it for a minute, because she needs to hear from another male voice.
Absolutely. Well, I want to say this, Gigi. I acknowledge you for your strength. I acknowledge you for your courage. I acknowledge you for your love and passion and zest for life. Because every single morning, not only do you plug into these calls, but you share yourself with us. And that is tremendously huge, that vulnerability. And in my experience, my very short-lived experience, the strongest person I've ever met in my life, or the strongest people, but I'll start with the person, has always been my mom. And I was crying there with you when we started this conversation, Gigi. And I'll share with you why. My mom is, again, one of the most strongest people I've ever met in my life. Yet she lets these conversations run the show. So much so, I'm going to be super vulnerable. I'm about to cry. My mom is an alcoholic. And that conversation of her has rung true for me of not being enough. And the reason why is because I've seen my mom be so like, I'm telling you, my mom is a Puerto Rican mom from the Bronx. She does not play. She's so brilliant. My mom could have almost been anything she wanted. She still can. One of the things that has stopped her is that conversation that she's not enough because of her father, because of her relationships. And that has slowly crept into my life as a kid, watching my mom, and she was a single parent. So having two jobs and trying to figure things out, and then also having this zest for life, it was all confusing for me. And that conversation of not being enough ran the show. So I did everything for approval, everything for approval. And I'm here crying with you because that has rung true for me even up to yesterday. So I was on the call with you all yesterday. When I got off the call, I spoke with one of my builders on my team. As I was training my builder, my siblings call me and tell me that my mom is not opening up the door. And the reason why, because my mom is Dr. Jekyll, Mrs. Hyde with it. She could be so on key one day, the next day she won't even pick up the phone. And the reason why is because for some reason she has this switch in her mind that says it's okay to not be enough. And in that one switch, she chooses to walk out her door and go buy a bottle of alcohol. And that for me is one of the most, it's heartbreaking for me every single time. And I've been experiencing this, I'm 32, I've been experiencing this since I was 6. So think about 26 years. And everything I've ever tried to do in my life was to show mom not only that she's enough, but that I'm enough. And this bridge of conversation trying to show that has been tough on me because it's gone into my own personal relationships. And the women in my life, this is so crazy. The women in my life it's been a complete opposite for me. I've been looking to build them up, right? Like as a male, you know, sometimes we break them down, or we break women down for whatever reason that our insecurities broadcast. But here I am. I've seen my mom as a kid living the life that she lived, and every woman that has come in my life, I look to build them up, to let them know that you are enough, because all of you women are enough. So enough that you bear life. Not only do you bear life, but you are life. We would not be anywhere where we are in this world if it was not for the power of, you know, women, and let alone humanity. And you know, I love this conversation so much so because a lot is ringing true for me. And you know, I have to say this, Gigi, and to all the women on this line, that men live only to, you know, we live to protect, we do live to in a sense nurture. And the only way that we could do that, the capacity that we can do that, is when we're good with ourselves as men. And you know, I was thinking about this the other day, is that, you know, we have this burning desire to do well in life, to accomplish, to be successful. And that burning desire gets in the way of what's real and what's true, which is love. And we're so like wanting to show off, right? Quote unquote, show off or show out, that we forget that the importance is to love and to share joy and to share gratitude. And you know, there's a lot of men that are suffering with those insecurities. And the conversation is, you can't share that. Go walk it off, man. You can't cry. You can't be vulnerable. And that's the very same conversation that stunts a man from really fully loving a woman. Because that conversation runs the show, that they're not enough to love a woman. So then it's this vicious cycle. So for everyone on this line, you know, man and women, human beings, right? We're all spiritual beings having a human experience. You know, it's beautiful that we have this community where we can share joy, love, and patience and compassion with each other, because out in the world, they need that.
So Leo, let me
Mhm.
ask you to do one thing for me, and this is just to change her brain for
Yes.
just a second.
Yes.
In your other language, because I'm going to guess you don't just speak English. In your other language, I want you to say to her in your other language what you would say if she was your sister and you were picking her up from a bad relationship or a bad experience or whatever, and how much you would tell her you would love her and hold her and care for her and how protected she would be. But I want you to speak it in a different language. And just let it flow for a few seconds.
Mira, amor, yo quiero mucho. Yo quiero mucho. Y quiero dar muchas bendiciones, muchas oraciones y mucho amor. Y yo quiero decir que tú estás preciosa y tú tienes Tú tienes un gran amor que el mundo no sabe ahora. You have a love that the world doesn't know yet, but they're ready for it. And they're so ready for it, and they so need it. So go out there and love. Go out there, share your gratitude. Go out there and dance. Especially for me, you gotta go dance, girl. Put on some music, shake that thing, like ain't no check thing, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think one of the coolest things that my mom, you know, this beautiful thing that my mom has always done is that no matter what life is given, my mom has always said, I need my music. So she always puts on music and she always dances. To this day, my mom is 70 years old, about to be 70 years old. And, you know, unfortunately, the summertime here in New York is not going to be happening. But every single summer, my mom goes to every single concert she can. Here in New York, we have a lot of free concerts. More specifically, my mom goes to a lot of free salsa concerts. So my mom goes to these concerts because when she's home, it's you know, these thoughts run rampant, you know. Don't let the thought run rampant. Let your heart run rampant and go with the feeling, because the feeling is a secret. That feeling of joy, that feeling of love, compassion, and patience, you know? So dance for me. Put on some music and dance for me. Whatever that is, move and groove. I always like to say this, clap your hands, stomp your feet. Please dance to that mambo beat, y'all. So I really
Thank
appreciate
you,
it.
Leo.
Yes.
I think all the women on here fell in love with you like 4 times over, Leo.
Yeah, Rhonda, you did that on purpose, that little Spanish bit. I see what you were doing down there.
Monique, that was for us married women. So I told my
it's
husband.
a good thing my husband just walked out the door a couple minutes ago, okay?
That's okay. I showed my husband Leo's video yesterday, and I looked at him. I said, "You need to know I'm in love with him. It's okay though, because he's in New York." And my husband just kind of grinned.
Oh my God! Like I love every single one of you. I can't wait to meet you all personally and have these amazing conversations, especially with you, Sean. Like I think I'm gonna hug you for like 15, 20 minutes straight. I don't think I'm gonna let go yet. All of you, because every single morning I wake up with so much joy and gratitude. No matter if it's 7:29, it's like I still got like, you know, my eyes are still closed and shut. I think to have this community for all of us, where our heart is beating so strong that we can't even stand it, and that feeling that you have, Gigi, I have that too. It's weight, and it's more like in the sacred area. It's more like in my base chakra, if we're talking about that kind of thing. It's more like in the lower region. And that all comes from being a kid and being exposed to things that I still carry. So having these conversations releases those things little by little. This one conversation alone, just it's so amazing, because I went through what I experienced yesterday with my family, and I'm there standing in power, standing there in love, standing there in patience through it all because of y'all. And I love y'all so much for that. You got me here crying. Look at that.
I love you.
I love you too, Leo.
I love you all. I love you, Gigi. I love you, Rhonda. I love you, Sean. I love you all. Thank you.
Gigi, you starting to feel it?
Mm-hmm.
You have a whole army behind you, Gina.
The reason that this showed up today is because you're starting to see others have it, and you're asking, when's it going to be my turn? And you know what? You gotta love that part of you that said, when's it going to be my turn? The one that asked that question. You got to say, oh my gosh, where have you been? For 4 years, you've been quiet. Where have you been? It's so good to see you. It's so good to hear you. Ask again. Ask again. When's it going to be my turn? Ask again. When's it going to be my turn? Because when that voice gets loud enough, when that voice gets strong enough, you know it's going to come back. Now is my turn. Right now is my turn. I got an army behind me. One person can't stop me. One story can, though. But now you're hearing all these new stories. When's it going to be my turn to have my chance? Right now. You got to feed that one. You got to, that one that says, why is it my time? Listen, I don't know if you knew it, but you knew I knew it. You knew I knew it. Because when I made you smile, and that part of you goes, well, if I give him the real smile, I'm just going to give him this half smile. But everybody else will think it's a real smile. But Sean will know it. Let's see if Sean's really paying attention. That's why I'll come back out of left field and go, okay, tell me the story that's really bothering you. And you're like, I don't know. What story? Well, I got you. I got you. I was given to you as a gift. You were given to me as a gift. Where else does a 54-year-old not know how to put on eyebrow white guy show up in your life? I need you. I need my little sister to get her dance on. I'm here for you. I ain't going nowhere. You're an amazing soul. Tell me
Shardia's
what
up there
release.
rocking you. You see it, Sean? Yeah. Shardia's up there rocking her. She's rocking with you. She's like trying to comfort Gina. She's ready to bust out into some sort of spiritual song or something. She's just rocking.
Okay, I think I have to call this one Sean and Rhonda. I think everyone just needs to stand up and just give me a little shake. Just
come on.
A little shake. Give me a little shake. You know what I'm saying? Hey.
I'm glad I got pants on.
I love it.
Yeah. That was awesome.
This is what community does. This ain't no Sean show. It for sure ain't no shit show. This is us working together. This is what's called a psychographic of humanity. Every one of us wants more. Every one of us can pour into more. Every one of us is that prism that is actually from where light came in and the prism fractures out light and turns it into the rainbow over here. We're actually taking it the other way. We're the rainbow that's coming back and creating this laser of love, this laser of joy. We're just reversing the flow. We're every creed and color and race and look. And I mean, we got people who haven't talked before, who've showed up here, and people who've been here for a while and talking. This is what's going to change the world. Not fear and doubt, faith and courage. And the fact that we can all have these conversations together. We can all type in the chat and say, I love you. This is a community. Right? Because if I look like you and talk like you and walk like you and sound like you, we don't need each other. If we all agree on everything, we don't need one of us. But when we can step up and we can help a little sister who's struggling, bring joy to a part of the world because she's never felt love like this. She's not even sure how this has even happened. She's like, how did I get here? Right? Gina?
Yeah.
Yeah, how did I get here? How did I find all these people? Where were all these people when I was having a shit storm? I can't really believe that. Because we haven't met each other. I haven't met hardly any of you in person, but we've all fallen in love with each other. Why? Because we're here to all want the same thing. Can I have just a little bit more? Can I become a little bit more of me? Can I wake up to this new person that's inside of me? Can I wake up to that thing that I was delivered here on this earth for? You know, the reason that you're here, the two most important questions, the reason you're here and then the day you discover why. Some of you discovered your why here right now. You were here for Gina. Dakaya, you got your hand up.
Hi, good morning. I was laughing at that earlier, and it made me think of SpongeBob. And I was like, well, why does Gary meow and why do the worms bark? And I still don't get that to this day. And then yesterday I was like, I didn't even realize it until Leo said to get up and dance really quick. But yesterday I got up and I twirled like a ballerina, and I'm realizing that I did it now, but I was just so happy. There was a point to all of this, and I can't quite remember what it was.
I know what it is. It's for us to see your dimples.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I was thinking the same exact thing right now.
I know normally I hold the camera a little weird, but today I got my stand. Oh, that was another thing. Gina, if you want, I can always send you the link to this really cool stand that I have. It's like really bendy and stuff like that. I know I like taking my own pictures. So I've hooked it to a tree before. I've used like stairs and done it like that. So it's really fun. It's really cool. And I think it was only like $20, $25, but it's really worth it if you do want to like invest in that. And then I know you can get like the little remotes to your phone, and that way you don't have to keep walking back and forth. And I know that's something that's like really helped me out. So I can't really remember what else.
Or Gina, you could have really long arms like me, and you could just
I know, extend like a tree branch and just.
How little do you know? I bought this stand right here.
Oh yeah. See? Well, so close, but it's okay. But yeah, and then earlier when Leo and Delia were talking about Mary Poppins, I don't believe I've seen. No, I haven't seen that. And when they said they were dancing on the ceiling, for some reason I got like overcome by Beetlejuice's where they get like they get possessed by like the dancing.
Yeah.
Hey-o.
Daylight come and carry me home.
Love that movie too. I love that movie as well. I love the beat.
Yeah, I know. It always makes me so happy. That and the SpongeBob intro. But thank you
Listen,
guys.
so that's how you
guys.
laugh. That's how you laugh. You find the things that make you laugh, and you laugh.
Yeah.
We must
And
have
then I
a
had to
visual
get one.
dance.
Oh my gosh, that just made me realize too that I never really realized, but my middle name is Joye, and my grandma came up with that.
I'm sorry, have you met yourself before?
Yeah, but like I feel like I'm meeting like the best version of myself, especially this year. That's definite like.
I just realized what my middle name was.
Yeah,
this is how it hides right in front of us.
Right, exactly. It's right there. The answer's there the whole time. Choose joy, but then you just don't choose it. But why?
Because somebody told us we don't deserve it. And that's why we got to hang around people who truly love us and truly care for us and going to tell you, go have some joy.
Yes, go have some joy. Oh, and that was another thing too, is that I got this cup today. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says laugh often, just for the fun of it. And it was funny because when you're like, Gina, what's something that makes you laugh? I like really looked at the cup and I was like, it's laughter loading. I don't know. I've been on like a joy kick today, so that's my 2 cents for the day.
See, this is what changes the world. This is the smiles that I asked to put in the world, that I asked God to give me a gift to
Love
put
you
more
too,
smiles
Leo.
in the world. You're
Leo.
amazing. Shammy, where are you? Where's my Shammy? Hi, Shammy.
Hello.
Hello, Shammy.
Hi everyone. So I actually have a story that what happened yesterday that I thought was pretty cool. In my journal, I've been writing, affirming a lot. I'm so happy and grateful for my beautiful home. And then I saw Nano posted his home, his future home that he wants to manifest. He posted it on his Instagram, and I actually screenshotted it just because I liked it and I want to manifest the same thing in my way. So I screenshotted it, and then later on that day, I noticed, I don't know which one of my kids, but I noticed on my Facebook, I don't post a lot, which I'm working on that. I'm trying to post more often. But on my Facebook, one of my kids posted Nano's manifestation home on my stories. And I actually, when I saw that they posted it, I laughed. I laughed so hard because they also added like a whole bunch of emoji pictures by accident, because some were like happy, some were sad. I know it was by I know it was by accident. It was it was probably my 3-year-old. But I laughed at it, and I thought, wow, how cool that he posted it for me. You know.
Aw.
And then before going to bed, I journaled again, and I always, I have like 4 or 5 that I always repeat affirmations. So I did my affirmation again about my beautiful home, and then I dreamt about it too. So I was like, oh my God, this, I must be getting it soon.
That's so
I
awesome.
wanted to share that with you guys.
I appreciate that. So here's the thing, folks. How does this all work for us in business? It means that somebody's going through pain somewhere when we're having a conversation with them. Everybody we're about to have a conversation with has a story. And you're either going to help them solve it or add to it. Well, oh my God, how do I have a conversation then? Be more of the listener than the talker. Because it's going to be easy for people to instantly pigeonhole you, to put you in, oh, so you're like one of those people who don't believe in me. You're like one of those people who say, I'm not good enough, like everybody else has said in my life. Well, but that's not what I'm saying. Perception is reality. When we have a conversation with somebody, we got to let them know that our pain is real. We got to let them know we've walked through the fire. We got to let them know that we're there to be able to help them through the story. Listen, if I wanted to learn how to play tuba, the instrument, the tuba, I probably might not go to Leo because he's a dance instructor. Why would I get mad at Leo going, why the hell can't you teach me the tuba? I want you to teach me the tuba. I need you to make me enjoy the tuba. Listen, I don't know about the damn tuba, but I want you. That's addiction to approval. That's wanting the person and not the purpose. We need to keep our purpose first. Our purpose is to live our life with all of the gifts that were given to us and figure out how to use them all as our gift back. We've read so many stories, right? Don't light your lamp and put it under a bushel basket. I'm glad some of you are taking your baskets off. Thank you for helping Gina take her baskets off. It may not all be off. We'll get some more off of there. The light may be a little bit dim, but we'll light it back up. Every one of you deserves the chance to live your life to the fullest. You deserve that. That's not a gift given to you. It is absolutely your birthright. So when you're having a conversation with a prospect, when you're having a conversation with, listen, would it be fair to say that anyone you're about to have a conversation with has had a shitstorm in their life? Everyone you have a conversation with is about to have, there's a world of hurt that's just below that surface. Everyone. And the problem is we all dance around it. When you start to speak truth to your story, it comes across in your essence. Listen, Rhonda couldn't be telling you the story unless she's been through the world of shame and doubt and fear and guilt and all of that stuff. It ain't an easy way out sometimes. It's a long road up. There's the long road up, and then there's the ladder. The ladder's somebody's got to be holding the ladder at the top saying, come on, come on, come on. Can you be the person in somebody's life holding that ladder saying, I got you, I got you? You know, most times you hold the ladder, somebody wants you down at the bottom. Sometimes we got to go down past them, go, wait a minute, let me get behind you here. And you go down and you hold the ladder till they get out. The reason that you can go down in the hole with them is because you know how to get out. You know the other way out. You've already been out. Gina, you can have a conversation with somebody today, somebody your age, somebody that's twice your age, somebody that's 3 times your age. And you can speak into them. I feel your pain. You heard Michelle talk about it. Every one of you are a genius, an absolute genius. And you can pour into each other. You can listen to each other. And you can wrap it up the same way we wrap up every day, saying, I love you. I appreciate y'all being here. I'm Sean Murphy, your head misfit. I'll see y'all where? At the next event. Y'all send each other some love.
Love you all. Have a great day.
Love you guys.
Love you all. Have a
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Well, that's
Love you guys. Have an amazing day.
Oh,
love everyone.
Thank you for
love you,
showing
my
up.
misfit family.
I was talking
Love
to
you
Everyone
all.
have a
Love you
blessed
guys.
day.
Amazing day, family.
Love y'all. Have a great
Have a
day.
blessed,
Great call today.
prosperous day.
Thanks for all the share.
We get to do this tomorrow. I love it.
You guys, love you.
Dude,
Y'all bring your left-handed mugs.
That's right.
Your
right,
left-handed mugs
left-handed
tomorrow.
mug.
What time are y'all on here every day in the morning?
Same number, same 6:30 every morning. We Central Time, 7
Central.
Eastern Time.
So 7:30 East.
Yep.
7:30 East.
Appreciate y'all.
Love y'all.
Yeah,
You
great
do it.
having you
Thanks
here.
Love you.
for showing up.
Love you, Sean.
Same
Love you,
link.
Ralph.
Yes, it's the same link, y'all.
All right, thanks.
Hey, Rockstar
Love y'all.
RBP.
Love you guys. Have a great day.
Bye, Roz. Thank you. Patty, love
Bye,
you.
y'all.
Thanks, Brandon. Monique, you rock star.
Sean, you rock star.
I'm a
RC in the house.
Monique.
RC's got, I think he's doing CP. Oh, no, he's loving us. I wasn't sure. Love you, RC. Bye, y'all.
Bye,
Love y'all.
Gigi.
Bye.
Gigi, I'm going to go get my eyebrows on. I'm going to go put
Go
my
put them
eyebrows
on,
on.
Sean. Make sure
Right.
they right. If you're gonna do it, make
I'm
sure
going to
they
show up right. I'm going to get the squares done. I'm going to do the little line. I'm going to do the mark down the center and the eyebrow and all that lining. And then I'm going to go get my eyebrows lined. What do you call that? Tweezed? No. Where they do it with the string?
Arch.
How that is?
the threading.
Threading. I'm going to go get
Threading.
threaded. The mall's closed. I can't get threaded today.
Stop. Stop.
I'm going to go get threaded and painted and waxed.
Beautified, Sean.